Hello and welcome back to another Football Commentaries live stream. We are here today for the worst team in the league for form. It's the worst stunt in their history with Southampton, and we have also one of the best teams in form alongside Manchester City with Chelsea, who have won their last 4 league games. The last time these teams met was a 6-goal thriller at Stamford Bridge when Southampton nicked a 92nd minute equaliser through Yannick Vestergaard to make the game finish 3-3. Werner scored twice that day, and he scored in Chelsea's last game against Newcastle and in his goalless run in a Chelsea shirt. He ended his run of exactly 1,000 minutes of Premier League football without a goal. And for Southampton, a win is desperate as they have fallen very quickly down the table after losing their last 6 league games, the worst in the club's history. For Chelsea, a win would help them sustain ground and keep in a top 4 place so they can qualify for next season's Champions League. We're very close to kick-off, and hopefully we'll get another classic between these two sides like we did earlier on in the season. Hello everyone, welcome back to another commentary. I've got Southampton versus Chelsea today. Hopefully we do get a similar outcome of the 3-3 earlier on in the season. That will be fantastic and much appreciated. I'm very interested to see how Southampton can do, because they really need to end this winless run, and it's got to come to an end at some point. So when does it happen? It could happen today. It could happen the game after. You got to remember as well, Southampton do play on Tuesday as part of games that need to be caught up. They play Leeds on Tuesday as well, so if they could get back-to-back wins here, shoot them up the league table. Yeah, the kickoff is very soon. I'll just go through the lineup in a second, as you can see on screen. As we've got back-to-back Chelsea commentaries, Tuesday 8 o'clock, we'll be doing Atletico Madrid, who are currently running away with La Liga. They play against Chelsea. I think that's in Budapest as well, Hungary, where the Liverpool game was. I'm not sure on that. I could be wrong, but I think that's where it's being played. Kickoff, we are very close to it. We're just under 3 minutes away. Just going to make sure the stream's okay with the mic. Yeah, we're sounding okay. Very interesting for Thomas Tuchel. He has gone for Kurt Zouma at the back. It's his first time playing in the Premier League under Thomas Tuchel. Christensen drops to the bench. Reece James is in at right wing back for Callum Hudson-Odoi. Ben Chilwell still doesn't have a shout at left wing back. He's stuck with Alonso. And then for Southampton, no Stuart Armstrong, who's usually a forever present in the Southampton team. He picked up an injury alongside Kyle Walker-Peters. That means there is a full first start, for Mohamed Salisu at right back for Southampton. Usually a centre back, but he's going to have to fill in at right back today. The only Premier League minutes he's got so far is 18 of them in the Premier League against Wolves last Sunday. So we've not got too much experience in the Southampton team as of yet. Mohamed Salisu. Sorry. But yeah, some landmarks as well. Oriol Romeu is hitting his 200th Premier League appearance. 22 of them were for Chelsea. In fact, he was there during the time that they won the Champions League finally against Bayern Munich around coming up to 9 years ago now. He was on the bench that day. He didn't play any minutes, unlike Ryan Bertrand, who's at left back for Southampton. He did play quite a few minutes in that Champions League final. He actually played 73 minutes of that game for Chelsea and Roberto Di Matteo, as they did come out victorious in that Champions League final. They'll be hoping for similar success under Tuchel. How much time that'll take, we're going to have to wait and see and find out. But we have got kick-off coming up in literally a few minutes' time. We've got Anthony Taylor as the referee for today's game. We've got the assistants and the assistants of Gary Beswick and Adam Nunn. Fourth official is Simon Hooper. VAR is Stuart Atwell, and assistant VAR, which I still can't believe that is a thing, of Derek Eaton. So they're the officials. Both teams are ready at St Mary's Stadium. 12:30 kick-off. Match day, or game week 25 of the Premier League. We're about to get underway with Southampton kicking off, kicking right to left. Chelsea kicking left to right, plays take the knee still. Obviously been some comments coming out about Wilfried Zaha no longer taking the knee and Brentford, but it's still a strong message as we have kicked off as Southampton have got it with Vestergaard to Salisu, who's playing on the left-hand side. Could this be a change of formation for Southampton? As Romeo looks to clip it down the left channel for Southampton, it's trickled out for a throw-in. Could we see a back three here for Southampton? Because we've got Ryan Bertrand still playing left back, and we thought Salisu would be playing right back, but he's on the left-hand side of the centre-backs. It looked like it could be a back three for Southampton. I'll keep up to date. There could be matching Chelsea. As Rudiger is on the ball on the left-hand side, sends it down the line, can't find a Chelsea shirt, and can be headed forward by Southampton, and it goes out for a throw-in as Gineppo tried to keep it on, and he thought it came off Alonso last, which I think it did. I think he's unfortunate not to get the throw-in there, Gineppo, on the right-hand side. And it looks like Minamino's on the left with Ings and Redmond up front, as James is just able to get it back to the captain, Azpilicueta, who moves it down the right-hand side, looking towards Tammy Abraham, who's fit for today's game, heads it back towards the midfield and can't quite find Kante, and Ward-Prowse picks it up to Ings, tries to let it back into Ward-Prowse on the left-hand side, again goes up for another throw-in. Interesting though, this for Southampton, not going for that 4-4-2 formation they usually do. It looks like they've gone for maybe a back three, maybe a 3-4-3 with Redmond, Ings, Minamino up front, and then Gineppo right wing back, Bertrand left wing back, and then Romeo and Ward-Prowse is the two central midfielders. We've got Kante in the middle of the park, plays it in through to Werner, outside of the boot ball, looking for Alonso, intercepted, and Vestergaard's challenging for the ball, and he keeps it for Southampton. Bednarek gets the ball caught under his feet, he's able to shift it out of his feet and clear down the line away from Timo Werner, up towards Danny Ings, gets it to Nathan Redmond, lays it back into Ings, falls to Gineppo on the right hand side for Southampton, who looks to be playing right wing back today for Southampton, a change of formation, or is it Bednarek playing right back? I'm really not sure. Can't imagine Bednarek playing right back. His Ward-Prowse just had to hurry it away up towards Nathan Redmond. Header won by Kurt Zuma, 4 goals in the season. Kurt Zuma, this season, like I said before, first start under Thomas Tuchel in the Premier League. 3-0 Chelsea. I mean, Southampton are desperate for a win, so I'm not sure, to be honest. Chelsea are playing it out from the back at the minute with Antonio Rudiger on the left-hand side of the 3 centre-backs that we know Chelsea will be playing. It's with Kovacic now, bursts away from Danny Ings, looks for the right-hand side where James is making a run and he gets it over towards him and he brings it down, and Werner's making a run in behind. He looks to try and find him, can't quite take it into his path. Timo Werner, just a little bit too much on it, but not too far away. Trying to find the space in between the back line of Southampton. It could be one of those things where they attack with a 3 at the back, Southampton, and defend with a 4, because it looks like when defending, Bednarek goes to right back, but when they attack, Bednarek goes into a back 3 and allows Gineppo to go further forward to have that cover. Yeah, it definitely is attacking. There are 3 at the back. Defending, they shuffle into a 4-4-2. As James has got it back from the goal kick. Southampton can keep possession. Mount into Abraham, completes a 1-2 back towards Mason Mount. Can't quite get on the end of the pass. He'll go out for another throw-in, this time for Southampton. Yeah, interesting by Hasenhüttl to deploy these tactics to match the Chelsea formation when attacking. And a lot of teams do defend with a 4-4-2 in the Premier League, like nearly every team does. Even Manchester City defends with a 4-4-2. So, no surprise there as Southampton look to clear down the line, but it's just come off the, I think it was the shin there of a Southampton player. I think it was Romeo who tried to clear long, and it's just gone out for a throw-in for Chelsea. They've got it with Azpilicueta back towards Kurt Zuma, who will be playing in the centre of the 3 centre-backs. One of the key themes of Tuchel's game so far is Azpilicueta overlapping from right centre-back. See if he does much of that in today's game. As Rudiger's been sloppy in possession, he's giving it straight to Danny Ings, but he does just nip it back off him, and he's brought down by the striker there. Antonio Rudiger got away with that. The German international was lucky to get away with losing the ball and then being able to win it back. As he's on the ball again here, pressed by Gineppo, goes to Kovacic, who's just a little bit deep for the ball, tries to play it forward, cut out by Vestergaard, goes into Oriol Romeu, finds Gineppo down the line, trying to find Ward-Prowse, again too much on it, and Antonio Rudiger can give it back to Edouard Mendy, who wasn't in the starting 11 for the game against Newcastle in the 2-0 win, as he just gets it to Zuma, around to Rudiger, inside to Werner, lets it run and gets away from Romeu and takes a couple plays out of the game here, and he's going to charge forward and go inside to Mount, who's just slipped, but he's able to let the ball run across him and play into Reece James. He's got the overlap, and here he is of Azpilicueta, decides to not use it and dink it to the back post, and Marcus Alonso on the volley, not too far away. He's currently keeping Ben Chilwell out of the team. He scored a goal himself not long ago in the second game under Tuchel's reign against Burnley, and he's nearly scored again. They work the ball to Reece James. They use the overlap of Azpilicueta to take away the pressure of Bertrand, and then just clips it to the back post. Didn't quite catch it the way he would have wanted to with the volley there. Yeah, just mishit it a little bit, and wide of the post it went from Marcus Alonso. When playing, Marcus Alonso has never been beaten by Southampton when playing. 10 games, that is. No losses so far. Chelsea have it back from the Southampton goal kick. They were aiming for Ings and he couldn't keep it under his possession. It's Chelsea just starting to have a little bit more of the ball in the opening 6 minutes of the game. Rudiger. Kante back to Kurt Zouma. Just on the edge of his own box. Goes towards Kovacic. First time ball into Mount. Tries to play it himself first time. But tackled by Salisu, and Southampton have possession with Ryan Bertrand, who's been forced back to Alex McCarthy. 39 goals conceded this season for McCarthy. Got to a great start the season like the whole Southampton team did as he give the ball away there. McCarthy trying to find Takumi Minamino, who also scored on his debut for Southampton against Newcastle in their 3-2 loss. Antonio Rudiger back to Edouard Mendy once again. He actually didn't play in the 3-3 draw in the early parts of the season against Southampton. He was injured for that game, so Kepa did play. As Vestergaard looks to head away ball from, I think it's Rudiger who clips it down the line, but Abraham's been caught offside. Liam Roberts, hello Liam Roberts, how are you? Are you doing okay? Video coming soon on the channel, Monday hopefully, as Werner nicks it away from Bednarek. Touch too heavy, Salisu can come and cover, try and take it away. He's nearly been tackled himself, just has to shield it away from Werner, try and clear, bounces off the German last, and it'll be a Southampton throw-in just on their right-hand side towards the right-back area. Thanks to everyone who's here. If you don't mind subscribing and liking, that would help me out massively. Bednarek is the man to take the throw. Got Redmond in support, Gineppo just behind him. Ings is coming over as well. Throws it in towards Ings, can't win the header on Kurt Zouma, and then Vestergaard heads it back to where it came from, but Kante takes over, and he's got Mount in space alongside Abraham, tries to feed through Abraham, but Salisu is there. Nice covering, good shielding, and he wins the free kick in his own box there as Abraham just pulled him back. Very impressive though, the first 80 minutes from Mohamed Salisu. Signed in the summer, has had to wait patiently for his chances. He's been injured for pretty much the whole season. He's missed 18 games injured. It's only his third appearance in all competitions for Southampton. Signed from Real Valladolid in Spain. He's got some jobs to do already. As Kovacic is running back for Chelsea, and it's Reece James back to Azpilicueta. Kurt Zouma. Halfway line's Kovacic back to Azpilicueta again. Former Real Madrid man Kovacic into Kante, working it out to Reece James. He's getting a chance ahead of Hudson-Odoi, goes into Kante, looking around the corner for Mount again. Just too much on these passes from Chelsea so far, and another throw, and it will be for Southampton as Kante's got in ahead of Jorginho for today's game. He's played all minutes in the Premier League under Thomas Tuchel so far, Jorginho, but he's been dropped for the first time today as Kante is recovering from his recent injuries that he's been suffering as of late. Bertrand still has the throw-in. Down the line towards Ings. Wins the header this time on Azpilicueta as far as Kurt Zouma, who can work it back to Rudiger. Back to the goalkeeper, Edouard Mendy, who has got 10 of the 11 Premier League clean sheets for Chelsea this season. Edouard Mendy. Kante tries to go down the line. Intercepted by Ryan Bertrand. Finds Minamino. Tries to go inside towards Ward-Prowse. Cut out by N'Golo Kante. Great play from the Frenchman. Has to force his way back to Reece James, who now has it with Azpilicueta. Kurt Zouma out to Antonio Rudiger. He's got Alonso in support as he enters the Southampton half. Rudiger to Kovacic. Werner, first time ball, can't quite find Mount, who drifted inside, and Minamino's now got the ball. Looking for a pass, just has to be forced backwards towards Ryan Bertrand, and he was off balance when the pass was made, and it's just gone out for a throw-in in the end. Slowly it did fade away, that pass from Minamino towards Ryan Bertrand. So Chelsea have it again, opening 10 minutes, still 0-0. Azpilicueta over to Kovacic on the halfway line, seems to be a favourite of Tuchel so far. Kovacic playing, I think, every game so far under Thomas Tuchel. As he got it to Alonso, feeds it to Werner down the line. Tackled by Bednarek towards the corner flag, and he's cleared it down the line. Vestergaard into Redmond, halted up towards Gineppo, tackled fairly by Alonso, he won the ball, and it's now Kante. Mason Mount's on the edge, he's got Reece James making a run, he does find him, just plays it behind him, and he's ended up being on the edge of the box now. Reece James gets it back into Mount, in the box, they have to be careful here as they try and win the ball, Southampton, and they do, with Ward-Prowse knocking it down towards Minamino, but Kante's there to tackle and keep it in on the right hand side, and he goes down the byline, he dinks a ball in where McCarthy can collect for Southampton. Good confident goalkeeping from Alex McCarthy. Good from Kante though to win the ball back and keep it in on the right hand side there as it was worked its way over. Kante played the ball over to Mount, who looked to find Reece James in the box, and he did find him, but he was just played behind the right back, and then Kante made his way over to come and support, and the support they did need in the end because Chelsea did lose the ball at one point, and then Kante came in to win it back. Alex McCarthy sends this ball forward, and it's a header won by Kurt Zouma on Nathan Redmond, and Rudiger can just nod it back down to Edouard Mendy, the Senegalese international. He's got quite a good record, Mendy, for the Senegalese national team. He's played 9 times and he's kept 7 clean sheets. So not too bad from the 6'5" goalkeeper as he tries to send it towards Marcos Alonso. Too far forward for him, and Bednarek will just let this ball go out for another throw-in on the right-hand side for Southampton, just inside their own half with Bednarek. He decides to throw it quickly into Alex McCarthy. He's played for 4 Premier League clubs now in the league. 116 appearances, 117th today, 25 clean sheets. As he's got it towards Minamino, can't quite feed through Danny Ings, and Reece James wins it back, and it's been forced to the goalkeeper Edouard Mendy once again. Sends it towards Abraham, who brings it down with a chest to find Mason Mount, and on the halfway line he keeps the ball and gets it to Reece James this time and in front of him so he can take it in his stride. Reece James towards Kovacic. He's got Antonio Rudiger on the left hand side, he's going to use him. Forward to Marcos Alonso. Back to Rudiger again. Kovacic. I think more games under Tuchel, there's more opportunities. Chelsea have playing a bit quicker because they're getting used to his ideas and how to move forward quicker. In his first game, I remember commentating against Wolves, it was very just keep the ball, but now they're looking to progress a lot more and a lot more with a lot more fluidity. There's 1-2 with Alonso and Werner. Alonso has it, looks for a cross, blocked by Romeo, and it falls towards Nathan Redmond, who can try and win the foul here on Alonso, and he has done so. He's been brought to the ground by the Spaniard, who's really come back into the fold under Thomas Tuchel. He played under Frank Lampard a little bit, but really not a lot. I think he played the first 3 games in the season under Lampard, and then after 17 games with no minutes, Tuchel decided to bring him back into the team. But that's a long time, 17 games with no minutes at all. Sometimes being on the bench, sometimes being left out the squad completely, as he's won the ball back from Nathan Redmond as Southampton look to attack down the right-hand side. Edouard Mendy now has it over to Cesar Azpilicueta, the club captain. Been to the club now for coming up to 9 years. Azpilicueta played under many managers. Mendy over to Rudiger now this time, but from Roma a couple of years ago under Maurizio Sarri, as they did win the Europa League under Maurizio Sarri against Arsenal in the Europa League final in Baku. Azpilicueta, dangerously playing here as his pass has been intercepted by Bertrand up towards Minamino, but Azpilicueta's recovered, but only as far as kicking the ball out for a throw-in for Southampton. But it looks like with this 3 at the back that they're having when attacking and pressing Chelsea, it's giving them a lot more of the players chance to breathe and not get as tired, because under a 4-4-2 every player's got to be constantly running around and making sure they're keeping up with the press, but having more numbers around each player just allows them to not have to use as much energy earlier on as is what Hasenhüttl would really like. Bertrand throws it down to Redmond. Back into Bertrand through the legs of Azpilicueta to Redmond on the left-hand side. Tries to skip past Kante. Good strong tackle by N'Golo Kante, but it's gone straight to Ward-Prowse. Romeu, Ward-Prowse again towards the left-back area. Ward-Prowse at the minute. Been forced to Salisu. Back to the goalkeeper, McCarthy. Good pressing by Abraham. As McCarthy's just been able to slip it into Vestergaard. Out to Salisu. He looks to be left-footed centre-back, which are not too regular. You know, majority of players are right-footed. It's Vestergaard. Scored, like I said in the pre-match build-up, the equaliser in the 3-3 draw that these two teams played out earlier on in the season. As they played it towards Redmond, he's got there ahead of James, but good recovery challenge from James to nick the ball away from Nathan Redmond, and he goes all the way over to the goalkeeper, Edouard Mendy. First time ball towards Antonio Rudiger, who's scored the only goal that Chelsea have conceded under Thomas Tuchel. No actual opposition player has scored under Tuchel's Chelsea so far, only Antonio Rudiger when he stuck it past his own keeper away at Sheffield United. They did win the game 2-1 in the end, as they got a penalty quite soon after going to 1-1 against the rock bottom team Sheffield United. But he's here on the ball again. Just on the edge of the box is Kurt Zuma, on the edge of the defensive box for Chelsea. Back to Edouard Mendy. Over to Rudiger, but here, like, Southampton aren't pressing as much in areas where they don't need to. But when they need to press, they will have to, because Kovacic has got away from the lacklustre press. As Mason Mount's got it to Reece James's play continues. Mason Mount goes inside from the right-hand side. Right-footed ball to the edge of the box to Timo Werner. Tries to feed it through to Alonso. Is there too much on it? Or has he kept it in? No, he's not been able to keep it in. There's too much on it from Werner. As Alonso did break away there on the left-hand side. Tuchel isn't too happy with the pass from Werner, I'm presuming. He's given a few words to the German international himself, Thomas Tuchel. 7th game as Chelsea manager. It feels like he's been here for ages, Thomas Tuchel, as the ball did just go out of play there, as the pass was made. Werner did score against Newcastle on Monday night, stopping a horrid run without goals. 15 games it was without a goal. Danny Ings tries to bring it down from the goal kick, can't quite do so, falls straight to Chelsea. They've got it back to Edouard Mendy. Over to Reece James, who heads it in towards Mount, flicked on by Bertrand the wrong way, but it's been able to be picked up by Salisu. Romeu into Takumi Minamino, he loses the ball as well. Maloney from Liverpool, and Chelsea again have the ball back. With Kovacic. Pokes it through to Rudiger. Space out wide left here for Alonso, just inside the Chelsea half. Has to be forced back to Rudiger. Over to Edouard Mendy. Reece James has it in the right wing back role. Looks to go around the corner looking for Timo Werner. Just being able to be cut out by Salisu, out for a throw in for Chelsea as they can move up the pitch into the Southampton half. There's been no real clear-cut chances as of yet. We've had that Alonso strike that went past the post, but he didn't quite hit it as cleanly as he would have liked. Other than that, we've not really had much to talk about. As Alonso's been forced back to Rudiger, gets the ball again stuck under his feet, but is able to move it quick enough to Zuma. Kovacic surrounded by Romeu and Redmond, but is able to work it to Rudiger, clips it in towards Werner, who's able to flick it on in behind, where Abraham will give chase to Vestergaard, but he can't get there ahead of the Danish centre-back, and he can work it to goalkeeper Alex McCarthy, who will just take time, foot on the ball, plays it over to the left to Ryan Bertrand. Back to Alex McCarthy now. Ryan Bertrand was at Chelsea for 10 years. The left back before being sold to Southampton permanently. As McCarthy has it towards the left hand side, where again Danny Ings can't win the header on Azpilicueta, and it's been nodded to Reece James. He goes back to Kurt Zuma. Kovacic feels like he's always asking for the ball. He's on it again. Just flicked to the right to Azpilicueta. Now Rudiger again to Zuma. N'Golo Kante to Azpilicueta. Reece James, Kante, Mount. Just a bit of a missed touch, but he's able to win it back as Salisu. Salisu's tackle wasn't as convincing as it should have been. He's worked it to Alonso, who pulls it into the box towards Werner. It's all bouncing up in the area in the box, but Vestergaard can get a volley away. Up towards Rudiger, who can just, again, head it down to Azpilicueta, who's been forced to play it back to the goalkeeper, Edouard Mendy. As the ball was put in there by Alonso, it kind of bounced all around there, and no one could really get control of it. Mount was one of them who was trying to get a hold of the ball, but couldn't quite do so. And it allowed Vestergaard to clear. Kovacic brought down on the halfway line by Nathan Redmond, and he looks to try and take it quickly if he can, as Danny Ings has gone down as he tried. I think Kovacic tried to take it quickly and Ings got in the way, and I think maybe the trailing foot of Kovacic has caught Danny Ings as he's tried to avoid the quick free kick, which shouldn't even be allowed. Kovacic tried to take it quickly, and then as he's gone to try and kick it, he's just stood on the boot of Danny Ings. I don't know if Ings was intentionally trying to get in the way. He was just stood behind him, but Ings is okay. And Chelsea have already taken the free kick. They've worked it to Alonso down the left. Can he go down the line to Werner? No, he can't, because Bednarek's there to intercept, and he just sends it down the line towards Danny Ings, who's chasing the ball but can't quite get there ahead of Antonio Rudiger. And Zuma will work it to Azpilicueta. To James. Back to Azpilicueta again. Now we have Kurt Zuma on the ball. He's only won 2 times. He's played Southampton out of the 7 attempts. But he's got a great ball to Alonso, who looks to cross, deflects off Gineppo and out for a corner kick. Doing his defensive work there. Doing his defensive work well there. Musa Gineppo, who's only got the 1 goal this season in all competitions, and it was against West Brom back in game week 4. So he's had to wait a while for his next goal, and he's going to have to keep waiting in this game, as I think his more of his contribution is going to have to come defensively. He's playing as a right wing back for a majority of the game. But it's a corner for Chelsea, and it'll be Mason Mount taking in swinger. Oh, he'll go short to Reece James, then back over once more to Alonso, who then gets a crossing on the angle, and it's an easy collection for Alex McCarthy. No real pressure by any Chelsea players. And again, Tuchel isn't happy with that. Not using the set pieces to their advantage. Chelsea's, they have got quite a few tall players. Chelsea, 6'2", 6'3", 6'3" as well. A couple 6'3" players. So they had chances to look for their target men, but Southampton can bring it away instead. Only as far as N'Golo Kante, who intercepts a Salisu pass, who tried to get into the midfield with Minamino. But Chelsea again have possession of the ball, and it's mad to think when Tuchel took over, Southampton and Chelsea were on the same amount of points, 29. That's 7 games ago, and they could be reaching the gap even further as Chelsea look to score again. It's gone from Alonso all the way to the other wing back, James, who tries to hook it in, but Prowse is the one to hook it out. But only as far as N'Golo Kante. Mount into James, back to Kante. He's on the angle. Will he work the cross? He decides to go against it and just play behind him. To Azpilicueta, Kovacic, Kante, Azpilicueta. Decides to shift it over to Kurt Zuma in the centre of the pitch. To Rudiger, as they're going to try and go down the left-hand side this time. Towards Werner. As Alonso's being caught in the box there. Anthony Taylor's seen it, but he's going to let play continue as as Kovacic actually kicks it out as Alonso stayed down. It was off the ball incident as Alonso was making moves off the ball against Bednarek as he obviously wanted the ball. Oh, and I don't even think it's Bednarek's fault. I just think Alonso lost his footing and rolled his ankle a little bit. I don't think it was a Bednarek's fault at all, as Chilwell will go in warm up just as a precaution. But Alonso's back on his feet and he's okay. He just rolled his ankle, I think, as he went to make a move there on Bednarek. I think. I only got one angle of it, and it wasn't the best of angles, but that's what I think happened anyway. But he's okay, Marcus Alonso, and he is back on his feet. The former Real Madrid man was at Real Madrid from 1999 to 2010. Didn't quite make it, though. The Madrid-born left wing-back. So he will be okay to continue. Chelsea will just have to restart again. Tuchel ponders on. As Danny Ings gets the ball and kicks it all the way back to Edouard Mendy. Not really where they would have wanted to restart Chelsea, as they were inside the Southampton half and starting to create a little bit of space in between the central midfielders of Southampton and the centre-backs. They have to restart with Rudiger on the ball now, on the left-hand side of the three centre-backs. To bring it forward into Werner. Nice play, works it into Alonso, who can try and feed through Abraham. Good interception by Vestergaard down the right-hand side of Southampton. He just clips it away for a throw-in for Chelsea. As Abraham wants to try and burst in behind there. As once again, Abraham is currently Chelsea's top goal scorer in the Premier League. He was last year with 15. He is, at this part of the season, with 6. Obviously not as many as last season, but goals have been spread around for Chelsea this season. Werner's got 5. Giroud's got 4, Mount's got 3. Jorginho's even got 5 himself, who's on the bench today. Is Mount, one of the men who has got some goals this year, has just lost the ball. Try to feed through Abraham as they worked it towards him from the throw-in. Lazy pass, I'd say, from Mount. As again, Tuchel really isn't happy with his first 25 minutes from his team. They're having a lot of the ball, but their main passes to break through the Southampton team have just been inaccurate. As McCarthy sends it forward towards Redmond, headed won by Aspilicueta, only as far as Bertrand, who tries to play it forward, but it comes off Kante and it goes into the path of Mount, who looks to play down the line towards Abraham, who's got Vestergaard in company. But he works it away from him, looks to work the cross, but it's been blocked off by Vestergaard and it fell straight toward Prowse, who goes inside to Romeu. And Gineppo out to Bednarek. And then first time ball in towards Danny Ings, who floated to the right hand side. He looks to come inside. He's been tackled by Rudiger fairly, but thankfully for Danny Ings, his tackle's gone straight to Vestergaard, who can just relay it into his goalkeeper, Alex McCarthy. Sends it long down the right-hand side towards Marcus Alonso, who just nods it down for Kovacic. Not his intended target there, McCarthy, and he clips in towards Mount, headed away by Salisu. Long as far as Kante, who wins it back from Ward-Prowse. Werner just nips in there and gets a touch on the ball. Nearly went towards Abraham, but it's Salisu who had it and goes back to his goalkeeper, who clears it long first time towards Ings, who holds it up to Gineppo. To Romeu, who will bring it forward and get it into Ward-Prowse. His first time ball has been intercepted and Chelsea look to break with Reece James making a run off, and Kovacic tries to find him and he nearly does. Pass just behind him again and Bertrand can try and bring it away with a clearance down the line, which he can, and it will find Redmond back to goal, or he's facing the Southampton goal as he's been pulled a few times and he's lost the ball eventually. As Minamino and Redmond couldn't figure it out between themselves to get the ball away from the pressure and the danger of the press of Chelsea. Kovacic in the midfield. Kovacic is all he has. Well, I think he's got 2 goals for Chelsea, Mateo Kovacic. Yeah, 2 goals as he's lost the ball. Well, I say he's lost the ball. Werner lost the ball as he fed it into him. And in the 18-yard box is Salisu for Southampton, the centre-back. Bertrand back to Ward-Prowse. All very close and tight-nipped in the Southampton box as they got it to McCarthy, who then again looks for Minamino on the left-hand side. It's got straight out for a throw-in. Yo, yes, Venomixer, what you saying? Are you okay? Yeah, video hopefully coming Monday or Tuesday, but I'm going to try and push it for Monday if I can get it all done. Another mystery football box. All the details will be in the video where you can get one yourself and all that. So Alonso's got it. I hate when Timo play left wing. Yeah, I'm surprised by it as well, but it's not even like... Because I thought it was just a Lampard thing, playing him at left wing, and then Tuchel's coming in, he's playing him in the same position. It's more of an inside forward than a left winger. But I know what you mean. I think he'd be better through the middle, personally. When you've got other striking options like Abraham, who's scoring some goals recently in Giroud, he might have to wait his turn, but who knows, just got to give him time as Alonso nods it down to Werner from the diagonal switch from the right-hand side of Chelsea to the left-hand side. He's 1-on-1 with Gineppo, he's got Kovacic in support, and he will play it to the Croatian. It's now Antonio Rudiger. He's going to go for a long-range strike, and it's an easy save for Antonio Rudiger. Well, it's an easy save for McCarthy from Rudiger's shot there. Got it on the left-hand side there, took a touch from about 30 yards out, 35 yards out. The German thought this could be my day to score a goal, but his goals come far and in between. He's got 5 in 89 Premier League appearances. Now he's 90th, which isn't too bad for a centre-back. 5 goals in 90 appearances. Could still be added through today's game. Southampton again have lost the ball from the goal kick. Trying to get it to the left-hand side with Bertrand this time, but he just can't keep it in play. And Chelsea can once again bring it away. We've got Alonso down the left-hand side. Slid into Werner. Keeps it. Tackled by Gineppo. Out for a throw-in for Chelsea. In towards the corner flag. Alonso to take into Kovacic. Pressure by Ings, but can work it to Antonio Rudiger. Zuma. Azpilicueta. Testing both sides of Southampton. Always changing up from the right-hand side and then going down the left-hand side. As Kante's pass has just been able to be kept in by Mason Mount. It's now Kurt Zuma. Over to Antonio Rudiger on the ball at the minute. Right-footed pass forward to Werner. Inside to Alonso. Just able to poke it towards Kovacic. As Mason Mount now has it. Tries to work it into Reece James, who had space down the right-hand side. But he's been able to be won back by Southampton, then lost straight away. As Nathan Redmond couldn't hold up a long ball put towards him. It's now Antonio Rudiger on the ball for Chelsea. Werner. Back to Antonio Rudiger. Kovacic burst forward. And then dispossessed by Romeu as he was pressured by about 3 Southampton players. And Redmond can bring it away. No real support on the right-hand side. He has to hold it up. Can he keep it? He's been tackled by N'Golo Kante and Kovacic, and he's the one to bring it away, Kovacic, and slides through Timo Werner on the left, down the byline, pulls it back towards Tammy Abraham, cleared away by Yannick Vestergaard, up towards Gineppo on the right. He goes inside towards Minamino. He's able to bring it away from Kante, poke it away from Alonso, and Southampton can try and finally keep the ball. Gineppo works it into Minamino, who's stayed on the right-hand side from the left. Back in towards Gineppo. Few step overs and then tackled by Kante. Too easy that for Kante to win the ball back on Gineppo, and he's got it to Azpilicueta, who looks for Reece James and he will find him. Into Mount. Azpilicueta into Kante as again the players just slow down a little bit. Rudiger. Very compact from Southampton. Is Rudiger has to be forced back to Kurt Zuma. Hopefully we don't get hopefully we don't get the same result as the first ever meeting between these two sides, because it was 0-0 in the FA Cup, and then 4 days later Southampton won the replay 1-0, so not blessed with goals in the start of the history of this fixture. Hopefully we get goals in this game though. As Romeu wins it back for Southampton from Chelsea, as they were still a little bit careless in possession there in the midfield there, Chelsea, and it's now with Vestergaard in the Southampton half. Is Ward-Prowse worked into the Chelsea half with Minamino, takes on the half turn, but again, great play from Kante to win it with the tackle and sends through Werner in behind. Just too much on it, and McCarthy was there ready to collect on the edge of his box. Well, just inside his box, should I say. Didn't collect it on the edge. It's now Salisu into Minamino, back towards Ward-Prowse. He's having a great season. But like I said, all Southampton players are currently having a dip. But at the start of the season he was fantastic, as it's Redmond. Inside to Romeu, laid back off to Redmond. He's got a bit of room to run into and try and slap through Minamino. He's got in between 2 centre-backs. He's through on goal. Minamino's got to score, and he does. He scored on his debut against Newcastle away, and he's got his first goal at St Mary's for Southampton. They've been under so much pressure the last 15-20 minutes. They've got through once, and that's all they needed to make a chance count. As Minamino got in between, I think it was Azpilicueta and Kurt Zuma, found a little bit of space, ran into it, had to be composed, had to keep his calm, had to keep himself calm. Great ball from Redmond, got in between the centre-backs, dummied a shot a few times, sat down Azpilicueta and Mendy, and as he saw space at the far post to slot the ball into the back of the net, he didn't decline the invitation, completely sat down both Azpilicueta and Edouard Mendy with 2 dummies, as he went to strike twice, and then outside of the boot, he had loads of room to shoot. And it's a beautiful goal, and it is the first goal scored by an opposition player under the reign of Thomas Tuchel. Southampton 1, Chelsea 0. And Takumi Minamino bags his second goal in the colours of Southampton. Shock that, I'm not going to lie, I didn't expect it. Southampton were under so much pressure, but Redmond really worked the space well with a 1-2 with Romeu. Then saw Minamino had worked himself some space inside, got in between 2 centre-backs, burst through. And those 2 dummies looking to shoot sat down Azpilicueta and Mendy, who couldn't block the shot, and then just swept it into the back of the net as Ryan Bertrand's got a throw in here, right in the corner flag for Southampton in the defensive area, because Chelsea just literally got the kicked off and just booted it straight towards the corner flag, so I think they could just push up. And they won a throw in here as Southampton couldn't keep it on the pitch, and Azpilicueta takes a quick throw in to the halfway line to Kurt Zouma. On the halfway line, Azpilicueta, who let Minamino get away, as that is his man. Minamino facing up against Azpilicueta. Minamino just drifted inside, saw the space and took the chance when it came to him. There's Alonso's lost the ball on the left-hand side to Danny Ings. Alonso, good recovery challenge to win the ball back, as Ings couldn't move it on quick enough, and Chelsea will look to score before half-time if they can. With Kurt Zouma playing it into Mason Mount, who's got space to run into on the right-hand side. He uses Reece James. Not many options for him, and he's been forced back again to Azpilicueta. Forward to Kante. Tries to get away from Ward-Prowse, and he does, playing it into Werner. Tries to complete a 1-2, but a strong tackle by Gineppo. Has Southampton possession again with Romeu. Only 3 plays up there for Southampton. Romeu's going to keep running. And back heel it into Redmond, who plays it into the goal scorer, Takumi Minamino. Who goes down the line towards Redmond, who's got to the byline. He's been met by Kurt Zouma, who will look to shield the ball out for a goal kick, and he will be able to do so. Good play by Kurt Zouma in the end, but I wouldn't say a shock lead, because in terms of the game, because Chelsea have had all the ball, but they've not really had any major chances. Southampton sat in, soaked it all up, and caught them on the break. And then they've scored. So, I mean, in terms of the game, I don't think it's really a shock, because Chelsea haven't done anything with the ball. Yes, the movement's a bit more fluid, like I said before, compared to the first game under Tuchel, but I wouldn't really say they've done much to deserve being ahead. Southampton's got their chance, and they took it. Chelsea haven't. So, fair play to Southampton. Obviously, in terms of the game itself, Chelsea being in such good form, winning their last 4 league games, and Southampton losing their last 6, I think it is. You'd think Chelsea should come here and win, but off the basis of this game, Southampton have just done what they need to do, and they've got ahead. But will that be for too long, as Kante's worked it into Werner, looks to go to the left-hand side. But I think he's been fouled in the process there, Timo Werner, but I think Gineppo's come off worse. Werner won it, and was just clipped, I think, by Romeu. I don't think it was a foul. Let's have a look. Timo Werner, yeah, actually just got caught by Romeu there. Werner is looked to go to the left-hand side, and Gineppo has hurt himself in the process as he was looking to stop Werner, because Werner, even though he got clipped by Romeu, he kept going for the ball, and obviously Gineppo didn't know that the referee was going to blow for a free kick, so he's gone to try and tackle Werner as well, and as he began to fall, Werner stuck a foot out and just caught the top leg of Gineppo. It's going to be a bit of a painful one. He should be okay. Werner was just trying to play the ball, and he just caught his leg with his studs ever so slightly. It's nothing too serious. His intent was to play the ball there, Werner. Gineppo's just come out on the wrong side of it, but he's back on his feet, Gineppo. And he should be okay, but this is a chance for Chelsea to try and hit back, if possible. We're on 30 yards out, so I think a shot is asking a bit too much of either Mason Mount or Alonso, so I think it will be a clipped ball into the box, where they have got the likes of Azpilicueta in there, Abraham, Zouma, Rudiger, Werner, even Kante's getting in the mix there at the back post. But will it be an in-swinger or an out-swinging ball? Or will it be Mount to shoot? Let's have a look. It's Alonso who's crossed it in towards Zouma, who wins the header, and I think it's a save by Alex McCarthy at the near post, or did it clash off the post? I think it's McCarthy who's the one who got a hand to it. Zouma's already scored 4 this season. I think he would have been caught offside anyway if it had gone in, but he broke away from Salisu, and he heads it towards the near post. Good reaction, save there from Alex McCarthy to stop the ball from going in the back of the net. Great save by the goalkeeper, but like I said, a corner will be given, but if the goal had gone in, I think it would have been disallowed for offside anyway. But a corner they've got, and it's an outswinger with Mason Mount, crosses it in, headed away by Vestergaard, only as far as Rudiger, who allows Gineppo to head it away towards Alonso, who's found himself on the right-hand side, has to go back to Kovacic, looks to bring it forward, and is just able to work it to the left-hand side to Rudiger as he's caught himself injured there, Kovacic, but he nearly got himself in some trouble there, because if he lost it, Southampton could have been through with not many Chelsea defenders back. But Abraham's drifted to the left-hand side, finds Kante. over inside to Mount, who lays it off to Alonso, tries to take it across his body, but he's been tackled and cleared, and comes off the head of Kante, back to Rudiger, as Kovacic again is back on his feet, as he just was clipped just beforehand as he worked the ball to the left-hand side. But this time he works its way to the right-hand side with Azpilicueta. Over to Kurt Zouma. We've got 5 minutes left of the half. Chelsea with all the possession but no real chances. The one that Southampton did get under the pressure they were under, they were able to score from. Minamino getting his 6th goal in all competitions in 20 appearances he's got this season. That's for both Southampton and Liverpool, as he's got the ball here as a misplaced pass towards Mount is giving Southampton possession, and he looks to clip it down the line towards Redmond. It looks like it will just curl out for a throw-in in the end, and Azpilicueta will take it quickly to Kovacic. To Zouma. Looking to the left-hand side where Rudiger will pick the ball up and go forward to Werner. Can he take on Gineppo? Just facing up to him and then playing it back to Rudiger again. Zouma. Over to Cesar Azpilicueta again. Reece James has got it. First time touch looking for Mount. Stopped by Ryan Bertrand, and then he's been caught by Reece James there. Ryan Bertrand and Southampton can relieve more pressure as they win the free kick. Stop the ball going to Mount, and then as he took a touch, he was just clipped with the back of the heel there by Reece James, and that's a fairly given free kick. If you're interested, this Tuesday coming, we're back again watching Chelsea as they take on a tougher side, you could say, in the words of myself, because you could say Atletico Madrid are slightly better than Southampton. They play them on Tuesday, 8 o'clock. Commentary coming on this channel. Make sure you are there. As the ball's cut down the line towards Danny Ings. Kicked away by Azpilicueta, and they look to work it forward now. Chelsea with Abraham having to hold it up and working it to Kovacic, who can then play it forward to Kante. He's got room here. He took quite a big touch, and Gineppo comes through with a slide challenge, and he's again injured himself in a tackle as Kante just caught him, as it was a good challenge by Gineppo, who's doing really well defensively, the attacking-minded winger, you could say. Kante took a heavy touch, and it was there to be won there for Gineppo, and he came in with a slide tackle, and he's just, as Kante's looked to try and take a touch on the ball, his boot was just raised where his studs were showing. He's just caught the ankle of Gineppo. That is really going to hurt, and he stayed down for the minute. Gineppo, I don't know if VAR will look at that for maybe dangerous play, because his studs were showing there, Kante, and he's caught his ankle. Was there intent? Maybe not. But he did, as he was going to try and fetch the ball that he had touched too far forward, he has just caught the ankle of Gineppo. Obviously, I don't think Kante would mean anything maliciously, but he has caught Gineppo there on the left ankle, and it will be a sore one, and he will need medical attention here, Gineppo. Great play from Abraham to hold it up to Kovacic, and then played it forward to Kante, and he just took too heavy of a touch, and then Gineppo came in with his fair slide challenge, won the ball, and then just from the follow through, Kante just caught the left ankle of Gineppo. That is really gonna hurt a little bit there for Gineppo. As the physios are just working their magic to try and see if Gineppo can continue in the game. I don't know if VAR's checking it. Obviously, I can't hear if there's any communication. But like I said, I don't think it was meant too maliciously, so I don't think anything will be done by it. Thank you to everyone who has liked so far. Just some medical treatment, and it's just interestingly enough that Southampton's only shot has been the goal. And to be fair, in Chelsea's defence, they've only had 3 of their own, 2 on target. So it's not been the most blockbuster game, unlike the one earlier on in the season, which did end 3-3. Werner scored twice that day. Havertz even scored. Ings bagged a goal with Che Adams, and then obviously Vestergaard on the score sheet to nick the equaliser. In terms of Premier League history between the two sides, it's the 44th meeting. Southampton have won 9 of them. 5 of them being at home, 4 of them being away. Last time these two teams did meet at St Mary's was 2019 October. One of Southampton's not finest moments in that season, but to be fair, they were also beaten 9-0 in that season, but they were beaten 4-1 that day by Chelsea. Goals from Abraham, Mount, Kante and Batshuayi. As we continue, I think Djenepo's okay, but I'm not too sure. As he is okay, I've seen him on the pitch just in the corner of the screen, and Rudiger looks to try and clear down the line. But it's gone out for a throw-in for Southampton, quite far inside the final third for Southampton, as they have 3 minutes of additional time, and Djenepo is back on his feet and he is okay. As Thomas Tuchel will be scratching his head, wondering what to do, how to break through this resolute Southampton defence that we've seen at the minute. As Bednarek gets into Djenepo, takes a touch, he's able to work a cross in. Zuma has to clear first time. Again, Djenepo's on the ground, and he's not feeling it on that ankle. He may have just gone over it again. He's really feeling it on that left ankle. As it will be another throw-in for Southampton, right in towards that corner flag on the right-hand side. Let's have a look what happened here. Rudiger just shoved him, and he just a fair challenge, just shoulder barge to the ground. Alonso's been fouled there from the throw-in, as Nathan Redmond couldn't keep it in possession. And Alonso will look to take the free kick. No, he'll just throw it back to Rudiger, who will then take it. Again, right near that corner flag here for Chelsea. Maybe coming to Football Commentary's Instagram, you need to check out. There may be some of my own mystery boxes coming out. It's a work in progress. It's coming soon, hopefully. And we might also be doing some like mystery card packs, like football card packs, like from old collections and some of the new collections as well. So make sure you keep an eye on the Instagram for that. It's in the description. Football_commentaries. As Werner looks to bring the ball away and find Abraham in the box. He's been caught by Salisu, has he? No, says the referee, and Abraham didn't really offer too much help for his cause. He didn't really complain too much, and play continues. It's been forced to Aspilicueta on the halfway line. Lifts it into Mount, who just gets there ahead of Salisu, but the boot was raised towards the head of Salisu. That's how high Mason Mount's boot had to go to try and play the ball forward. Let's have a look at this. Salisu did catch Abraham. Not too much contact. He definitely didn't get any of the ball there, as Abraham looked onto his right foot from the left-hand side. I don't think it's enough for a penalty kick, if I'm going to be honest, and he didn't complain much himself, Abraham. The slightest of contacts, I don't think it's enough to win a penalty, and it won't be. Vestergaard here with a free kick. Clips it down the left-hand side. Looking towards Minamino. He brings it down, then cannons off James, and then off Minamino again, last out for a throw-in, which has been taken quickly by James into Kovacic. Heavy touch, and Ward-Prowse can win it. And he has it just before half-time. Works it to Minamino on the left-hand side. One-on-one with Aspilicueta. Nice footwork by the Japanese international. Works it, tries to work it back to Bertrand, but it's just too much on it, and he couldn't take it in his path. Bertrand out for a throw-in. As we have played 3 minutes of additional time, and the referee will blow the half-time whistle. And we have it as Southampton 1, Chelsea 0. And again, Chelsea with Tuchel ball has had all the ball, but no real chances. Hasenhüttl's team had to soak up all the pressure, and the one chance they got in the half, with the only shot they had, resulted in a goal through Takumi Minamino, who's currently on loan from Liverpool. Got in between Aspilicueta and Zuma as Nathan Redmond played it into his path. Got inside the box, dummied a shot twice, sat down the goalkeeper and the defender, which allowed him to just play the ball into pretty much an empty goal to make it Southampton 1, Chelsea 0. Again, like I said, Tuchel will have to have a good think at half-time of how to break through this, what is not, as of late, a resolute Southampton defence, but today they have been very strong, defending with 3 defenders and wing-backs at times, defending with 4 at the back, and then attacking with 3. They've really been versatile in the way they've played. Southampton not just playing with a 4-4-2 for the whole game, so nice to see Hasenhüttl changing his tactics up a little bit. We are at half time, but I said just before the game, it's like Southampton's losing run has to come to an end at some point. They're not going to lose forever, and could it be today where that ended? It could be. You know, they've lost their last 6. Their last win came, I think it was the 5th of January, again, or was it the 6th? I think it was the 6th of January against Liverpool. That's their last win. Since then, they've just lost. I'm pretty sure. Let me see if that's right. Yeah, their last win was on the 4th of January against Liverpool. They have done well in the FA Cup though, getting to the quarterfinals. You've got to say that they have done well being able to do that. It's not easy. The FA Cup is the challenge, but a trip to Wembley, if they beat rivals Bournemouth, could be a nice little distraction. Yeah, like I said, we could be having mystery boxes and mystery football card packs of my own coming very soon. You've got to follow the Instagram for that. I'll actually show you some of the stuff I've done for it. Just give me a second. So we've got that. That'll be like the design. There's the mystery packs one. So that's like the sticker that would go on the front of like the thing would give you the cards in. I can't remember the name of it. It don't matter. You know what I mean. And then this will go on the front of the boxes. Same design, just saying mystery boxes there. So I think that's pretty cool. They should be coming soon. Obviously, you can't just do it overnight and with a click of the fingers. You've got to actually like get everything ready. The stickers, the boxes, the actual shirts, the card. Hopefully we'll get it done maybe a week or two's time, maybe even sooner if we can properly, get down with it and get it done. But hopefully that'll be really exciting if we're able to get that done. Really, really exciting. Yeah, in terms of commentary as well, I've planned a few more. Some of the Premier League games for the future have been scheduled in. So obviously we've got today's game, which I can tick off. We've got Atletico Madrid versus Chelsea, 8 o'clock 23rd. This is this Tuesday coming, so make sure you're there. Another Chelsea commentary. And then this time next week on the 27th, same time again, 12:30 kickoff, Manchester City versus West Ham United. And then in the week of that, I'm pretty sure, so in the midweek of that, on the 3rd of March, we've got Burnley versus Leicester at 6 p.m. I'm pretty sure that is a Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken. And then on the weekend of that, we've got Aston Villa versus Wolves at 5:30. That is a Saturday, bit of a Midlands derby there. And then the midweek of that, on the 10th of March, we're back for Champions League football with PSG versus Barcelona, second leg. And then we'll have a Premier League game after that, but they haven't been scheduled yet. And then the midweek of that after will be the second leg of Chelsea versus Atletico Madrid. So the commentary's coming up within the next 3 weeks. Been doing 2 a week recently, which I'm very happy that I've been able to do. No, interesting that it is 1-0. I really am hoping we get some more goals. Like I said, the last 5 games, there has been quite a lot of goals. There's been 16 goals in the last 5 games between these two teams. Yeah, the highest scoring games, actually, and I'll probably use this stat again in the half if we get goals. But the highest scoring games have been 8 goals. And we had one in 1967 on the 2nd of September. It was 6-2 to Southampton away. And then literally the next game these two teams played against each other on the 6th of January 1968, Southampton were beaten at their own ground by Chelsea 5-3. So Chelsea getting their revenge there. But how weird is that? The only 2 games that have had 8 goals, and they're the highest scoring games in the history of the fixture, both came back to back in the same season. I thought that was pretty cool. But I don't think we were getting an 8-goal thriller today. But you never know. We can believe. But Chelsea, they've been in great form, and the last thing they want to do is get beat to Southampton, who have been in the worst run in their history in the league, before playing Atletico Madrid. Well, not away, because obviously they're not playing at Madrid Stadium. They've got to play, I think it is in the Budapest ground that Liverpool have played in, and that City will be playing in as well on Wednesday. But, La Liga runaway leaders at the minute, you don't really want to be going into that game on the back of a loss. Well, I wouldn't anyway, to be honest. But again, in terms of the links in the description, we've got the TikTok and the Instagram. The Instagram you've got to go and follow if you're interested about the mystery boxes that are hopefully coming to the football commentaries brand, in a way. I don't know what you'd call it. And then we've got the second channel on the FM Save Rangers, which I've kind of put on hold for a minute, but I hope we might return. But if you're bored at some point and you want an FM Save, I'd definitely watch that. And then, like I say, for the things in the top right and left corner, I've linked Mental Health Matters. I've linked an NHS website where you can go and check out some charities and helplines for mental health. And No Room for Racism, link the Premier League website and then Black Lives Matter website as well. That's also linked in the description down below if you are interested. But yeah, half time. We should be back in about 5 minutes' time for the second half. Let's do analysis on the goal here. And Southampton were able to isolate N'Golo Kante in the midfield here, actually. Outnumbering Kante in midfield. Because Kovacic was just quite out of position on the left-hand side. But it's a great ball from Redmond. I think he's got to be given most of the credit here, because I know Minamino made the run, and he made it early, to be fair to him. But Redmond got his head up, didn't think, oh, that could be a bit of a risky ball. He's gone, I'm going to try and feed through Minamino. He's asked me to play it into him, and he's done just that. And obviously Minamino did the rest. Great skill from Minamino, though. Showed real confidence. The fact that he just faked a shot twice to sit down the keeper and the defender, and then just very calmly, outside of the boot, finish on the right foot into the bottom left corner. That's just so cool. And he's got it. He's a Champions League quality player. You know, RB Salzburg, who he was at before Liverpool, he was great for them. He really was. I think he was just shy of 200 appearances for the club. He obviously played under Haaland as well, Takumi Minamino. He won 11 trophies at RB Salzburg. Yes, it didn't quite work for Liverpool because of the quality they have, but in terms of a player, he's definitely, I'd say, a top 6, top 8 Premier League quality player. So Southampton to get him on loan for the rest of the season, I think it's a great bit of business by Southampton and Ralph Hasenhüttl, is actually coming up to his 100th game for Southampton as a manager. He's currently on now 97 games, 39 losses, so more losses than wins. Even if he wins today, that'll still be the fact. If he wins today, it will be 38 wins alongside 39 losses. And himself has a bit of Champions League experience. Ralph Hasenhüttl managed 6 games in the competition with 3 wins, 1 draw and 2 losses at his time at RB Leipzig. He was there for 2 years, managed them for 83 games before moving to Southampton in the December of 2018. Half time will be ending very soon. Let's get this back ready. What do we think the game's going to end? I think it's going to be a 1-1, I think. I think Chelsea will just nick a goal. Possibly. Don't quote me on that. I'm not too sure, but that'd be my best guess. But interesting. The one change I'd definitely make is Hudson-Odoi. If that's for James at right wing back or for another player, I'd definitely bring on Hudson-Odoi. I'd be definitely tempted to bring on Ziyech. And for Southampton, they've got the likes of Jankovic, who's back on the bench for back in the Premier League squad for the first time after his awful first ever start in the Premier League, as he was sent off against United after 2 minutes. That horror challenge on McTominay, which could have ended a lot worse than what it did. He's back in the Premier League squad for Southampton. They've got Nathan Tella, who started to break into the team for Southampton. He's not played any minutes in his last 6 Premier League games. Got Dan Lundalo, who's a good striker. Che Adams, obviously. He's had to be dropped the last few games due to the poor run of Southampton. He's got 4 goals this year. 0 in his last 11, though. So he's struggling for goals. Is anyone also doing fantasy team? I've got Danny Ings as my captain, actually. I was debating whether to captain Rafinha or Danny Ings because they both got double game weeks, and I thought, you know what, Danny Ings, I couldn't fancy him scoring a few goals, so let's all hope Danny Ings scores today. I'm happy with my team. Bench boost as well. Strauch on the bench, Dan Burn, Ollie Watkins, Danny Ings, Kane, Soucek, Barnes, Rafinha, Salah, Fernandez, Diaz, Soufal, Cancelo, Edison. You're not telling me that is a great team. You're lying to me. You are lying to me. Well, Chelsea. Who will be the scorer for Chelsea if they do end up breaking through? Do you know what I mean? You know, like, will it be like one of the main scorers? Will it be like a Werner, an Abraham, a Mount, or will it be like from a more unlikely source, of like a Kovacic, a Kante, maybe a corner goal from Rudiger or Kurt Zouma? It'll be interesting to see how it turns out in the end. But yeah, we're just literally a minute away now from kick-off, maybe not even that, before we're back underway at St Mary's. Yeah, fourth in the league as well, Chelsea at the minute. It's been a great turnaround by Tuchel. Like I said, I was trying to say it before, but I kind of got cut off by an attack. But when Tuchel took over from Lampard, they were on the same points, Southampton and Chelsea. And since his arrival, Southampton have not gained a single point. They've stayed on 29, and Chelsea have have gone 13 points ahead of them on 42 points and in fourth place, with not losing a game yet under Tuchel. So it's quite the turnaround, but that could just be, the new manager syndrome. But if you look at the run of fixtures they've had, like, Burnley, Newcastle, teams like that, Frank Lampard would have been looking at that run of fixtures going, right, that's where we can turn our bad form around. But obviously Roman Abramovich went, no, that's not happening. You're getting gone. I just thought it was a bit unfair. But Tuchel, he's got great experience as a manager. 423 games as a manager, 242 wins, and it's just, Mainz, he was there 5 years as it started his managing career. Then he moved to Dortmund for 2 years, 107 games, and PSG for 2 years, 127 games there as well. He's just really got the great CV, winning also 7 managerial honours, 1 German Cup, 2 French titles, 1 French Cup, 1 French League Cup as well alongside that. So, he's really got the experience behind him still at the age of only 47 years old. But we have had a change. Tammy Abraham, who was injured in the game on Monday against Newcastle, he's come off. I don't know if it's because of the injury or it's tactical, but who has come on? It's Callum Hudson-Odoi. So will we see more of Werner through the middle? Because James looks he's staying at right wing back, so we could be seeing, like we mentioned earlier on in the stream, we could be seeing Timo Werner playing down the middle as the striker. Who knows though? Tuchel might have something under his sleeve, but we're about to go underway for the second half. Chelsea to kick off, kicking right to left, Southampton left to right. We've got it to Kovacic, out to Azpilicueta, goes over to Kurt Zouma, falls back to Edouard Mendy, takes a touch with the right foot, clears with the right foot, up towards Mount, who can try and flick it on towards Werner, and he has done. Lays it back into Mount, can't quite find Alonso, who's charging down the left-hand side, and Southampton have it back with Gineppo, who can't quite find a man in red and white, and gives the ball straight back to Chelsea in the end. That is James, back to Azpilicueta. Kante, over to James, around the corner to Hudson-Odoi, can't quite work it into Werner, who looks like he is playing up front, as the ball from Southampton has gone up towards Ings, can flick it into Minamino down the left-hand side. Works it to Romeu. Bertrand works across, blocks by Azpilicueta. Throwing it will be towards the corner flag for Southampton as they look to try and add to their lead that they've already got. Bertrand to take the throw in that he did win off of Azpilicueta. Bertrand waiting for some movement, finds it with Ings, tries to get it back in towards Bertrand. Comes off Danny Ings last and he's passed forward. He's gone straight out for a goal kick. As 2-1 Chelsea. Sorry, I completely missed that. I don't know when that was put. I do apologise. It's Azpilicueta. Works it down the line to Reece James. Back towards Azpilicueta as Southampton are pressing high. Dinked into Kante. Round the corner looking for Hudson-Odoi, but Salisu wins it. But he's been caught flat-footed by Hudson-Odoi as he recovered to win the ball back. And Reece James got a beautiful run. He's took about 4 Southampton players out the games. Going sides towards Mount. Can he get there ahead of Bednarek? No, he can't. Strong challenge from the Polish centre-back. And we have the ball again with Southampton, with Bertrand, who looks to send it forward towards Minamino. Pass deflected straight into Cesar Azpilicueta, who then finds Kovacic. Looks towards Werner, lays it back into Kovacic. He looks to find Alonso, who's found a space himself into the box. Can he work across in? He does. A pull back towards Werner, takes a touch, tackled. Fall towards Hudson-Odoi, just able to poke it to Reece James. Now Hudson-Odoi again. Reece James back to Azpilicueta. Finds Mount in a bit of space on the right hand side. He's just inside the box. Works it towards Kante, who has a touch that is too heavy, and then it allows Southampton to clear all the way up the pitch to the goalkeeper of Chelsea. But it's an offside anyway in the build-up of the Chelsea attack. I'm not sure who was offside. But he worked it well here to Alonso. That can't be the offside. I think the ref. If that's the offside they've given, that's ridiculous. That was right at the start of the move. Actually, that happened about a minute ago. Yeah, it literally is. That Alonso ball that I spoke about when he got the ball in the box, that's where they gave the offside. That was like a minute and a half ago. But anyway, McCarthy sends it long towards the left-hand side. Ings works it very nice into Minamino, out-strengthening Azpilicueta. Then Bertrand's ball slices off his boot and out for a throw-in for Chelsea. Azpilicueta, how far forward do you want to go, mate? You've got 10 yards back to where the ball went out, and he has done that. Anthony Taylor's told him to move a little bit further back, and he's thrown it into Kovacic, back heel into Kante. Now Azpilicueta again. Zuma to Edouard Mendy. Good quick passing by the Chelsea defence. Still look to work it out. Rudiger. Alonso, right-footed swing at the ball towards Mount. He's able to head it in towards Kovacic. Poor touch from Minamino. Couldn't quite get there, though. But between him and Ward-Prowse, they've won it away from Kante up towards Redmond. Can't quite get the pass away himself, and Alonso can bring it away to Timo Werner, who's drifted to the left-hand side. He's got space to run into. He's got Mount and Hudson-Odoi in support. Left-footed pull back. Salisu's there for Southampton to cut out and play it into Bednarek. Now Gineppo can't quite take on Kovacic. He's been tackled by the Croatian, but only as far as a throw-in for Southampton. Is that a great game, though? Mohamed Salisu, like I said, it's his first start in the Premier League. Well, he got his first minutes in the Premier League against Wolves on Sunday. He probably played about 18 minutes of the game as well. But he's been first to everything. He's cut out a lot of passes, pullbacks. He's been quite good in that centre-back role, the number 22. 6'3" as well, centre-back, only at the age of 21 as well. Zuma heads away the throw-in by Bednarek. Throws down the line towards Redmond. There's a lot on it, but Rudiger will use his strength to move Redmond out of the way, and we'll see it out for a goal kick for Chelsea, as we've played 5 minutes of the second half. And again, Chelsea struggling to really create anything substantial and meaningful. Azoum's got it in the 18-yard box for Chelsea. Not much press on the centre-back, because he just goes to his left to Rudiger. Back in the box we go to Zuma. Mendy clipped towards Reece James, who will head it inside towards Kante. He lets the ball run across, and he will leave it for Kovacic, who will look to bring it forward himself, and he's going to use his pace to do just that and find Alonso. First time ball down the line to Werner. It's gone away from Bednarek. He's 1-on-1 with Vestergaard. Timo Werner takes it on the outside and looks for the shot at the near post. Hits the side netting there, Timo Werner. Really should have pulled that back there once he went round the outside of Vestergaard. Here he got it on the left-hand side, came inside, went back on the outside, and he should have really pulled it back there. The angle was never on for the shot to even go into the back of the net, because even if he somehow got it on target from such a tight angle, McCarthy was there to stop the ball from going into the back of the net. Again, Thomas Tuchel really isn't happy with his Chelsea team. He's demanding of all the teams he's been at, like we've listed, even at Mainz, where he started his managerial career. He's giving instructions. He's really not happy with his team. Thomas Tuchel. As Zuma heads away the Alex McCarthy goal kick, and Kovacic can bring it forward as Southampton tried to play it back forward, but Gineppo wins it back with a strong challenge, but then they've lost it again with Kovacic. He dinks the ball over, looking for Hudson-Odoi. Good header by Salisu, only as far as Mount, who's found himself on the right-hand side. Completes a 1-2 with Reece James, and he goes inside to Hudson-Odoi, who finds Reece James out wide. Aspilicueta into Kante. He's got options to his left, and he will use Alonso, who backheels it nicely to Rudiger. First time ball to Werner, who's 1-on-1 with Bednarek. Tries to get onto his right foot, and he does do so with a pass, but it's just been blocked by Redmond, but he falls to Rudiger, who now finds Kovacic. Aspilicueta. Mount. Hudson-Odoi, first time ball to Reece James. He's got space to work a ball into the box, and he has done just that, but it's straight at Yannick Vestergaard. Then it will be a corner kick for Chelsea. Taking it quickly to Hudson-Odoi on the right-hand side. Inside to Mason Mount. Looks to go inside, and it's a penalty kick. It's a striker's challenge from Danny Ings. He's chopped down Mason Mount in the box. And I don't think there's any complaints there from Danny Ings. Well won from Mount. Using his energy to try and work a chance. He got it from Hudson-Odoi inside. Took a touch. Tried to go inside onto his left foot. And as he chopped inside, went through the legs of Ings. And like I said, a striker's challenge there. As he went straight into Mount with a slide challenge. Easiest decision Anthony Taylor will have all season, giving a penalty. And the penalty winner will be the penalty taker. But a different question is, will he be able to dispatch it? Mason Mount, he's got 3 goals already this season in the Premier League. Can he make it 4? Mason Mount against Alex McCarthy from 12 yards. The number 19. Mason Mount takes a run up and he slots it home into the bottom right corner. And that's now back-to-back games for Southampton where they've took a first half lead. And then within 6 or 7 minutes of the half, they've had to be pulled back by a penalty kick. Happened against Wolves where Bertrand's handball allowed Neves to dispatch from the penalty spot. And the same's happened here with Mason Mount. Cool, calm penalty. Sent Alex McCarthy the wrong way. And it's first goal for Mason Mount from the penalty spot in his first team Chelsea career. It's now back-to-back goals against Southampton at St Mary's. He scored here last year in the 4-1 victory. And we're all square at St Mary's. It's Southampton 1, Chelsea 1. As the ball's been sent forward by Chelsea. Looks forward by Bednarek into Romeu, who looks down the right-hand side where there isn't a Southampton player. And Chelsea have possession again with Rudiger. Misplaced pass. Alonso can't keep it in. Throw in on the halfway line for Southampton. But his 5th appearance against Southampton, Mason Mount. 2 goals now. This time this one's come from the penalty spot. Jorginho is usually the one who takes penalties. Well, he scored 5 goals this season, and they've all been penalties in the Premier League. He scored 6 in all competitions, and they've all been penalties as well. As the throw-in from Southampton has gone straight out for a throw-in for Chelsea, as Gineppo couldn't quite keep it in play down the right-hand side. But could there be a bit of deja vu here for Southampton? Like I said, literally the carbon copy of what happened on last Sunday. They were 1-0 up in the first half. Second half, they conceded a penalty. Mason Mount's penalty was scored in the 54th minute. Neves' penalty was scored in the 53rd. So very similar, but Danny Ings will bring it away. He looks to try and feed through Redmond, just goes in behind him. And he can't quite kick it in his path. And Chelsea again have the ball back now with Kovacic. Into Alonso. Can he enter the Southampton half? Now just plays it into Kovacic. Over to Kurt Zouma. Kante, first time ball to Aspilicueta. Support from Danny Ings to give away the penalty, and he'll have to try and repay his team by maybe trying to score a goal if he can. Aspilicueta. Drills it in towards Mason Mount, can't work it to Hudson-Odoi. Salisu's there to cut out, but then he's been tackled by Mason Mount and he takes it into his stride, works it away from Vestergaard and Ward-Prowse as he's taken down on the edge of the box. The referee gives a free kick in the end. Mason Mount really burst into life in this second half. He was tackled. Salisu tackled Hudson-Odoi and he couldn't really move from where he'd won the ball. He was stuck battling with Hudson-Odoi as he was just trying to shield him away, and as he's kind of been rooted to the spot, trying to shield it away from Hudson-Odoi, Mason Mount just came in and just pickpocketed Salisu and then brought it away, worked it past Vestergaard, and then a covering Ward-Prowse just clipped Mason Mount. And this is perfect territory for either Alonso, Mount, James. Mount did score a free kick in the last game of last season in a 2-0 win against Wolves before half-time. But Mount, Reece James and Alonso's over it. Around 22 yards out, I'd say. On the right-hand side of the box. So it's more suited for a left footer, but I won't put it past... Oh, my days. I won't put it past Reece James or Mason Mount to have a strike themselves, but we know Alonso is a free kick specialist. He scored 23 Chelsea goals. A majority of them would have been free kicks. I remember one against Bournemouth away a few years ago, one against Tottenham away at Wembley at the start of, I think, Maurizio Sarri's Chelsea career, I think, or it could have been the last season under Conte. But we know he can take free kicks, and he looks like he's the one eyeing it up. It's perfect. If you want to place a free kick, maybe a yard back or so, but still, to win it in this position, I think Chelsea have got to try and at least work the keeper. Will there be Alonso to take? Mount won it. Will he take the free kick like he took the penalty? We'll find out. Number 3, it'll be Alonso to take right into the wall, and Danny Ings will be not fouled by Alonso. He'll be cleared away by Vestergaard. They fall to Antonio Rudiger, who heads it back forward, but then the foul's gone back. What? Oh, it confuses me, referees. So it hit Benderek, and then Danny Ings went right into Alonso as he looked to clear it. And then it went to Southampton, right, and they cleared it long forward. And then Chelsea headed it back, but that's when he gives the free kick on the edge of the box. For Southampton, just give it as soon as it happens. There was no advantage. Where was the advantage? There was none. Doesn't matter anyway. McCarthy takes the free kick forward towards Redmond, header won by Rudiger and then helped on by Alonso. And as far as Ward-Prowse heads it in the air and Romeo heads it forward and it falls to Kante. And Kovacic tries to get a ball forward, cut out by Southampton. It's now Danny Ings on the left-hand side. Can he work it away from Azpilicueta? No, he can't. Kante tries to bring it forward and he does to Reece James, who's been brought down inside his own half there on the right-hand side by Southampton. And he wins a free kick. Romeo has to be careful. He loves a yellow card, Romeo. 200th appearance in the Premier League. He's got 54 yellow cards. But surprisingly, no red cards in the Premier League in his career, which is quite surprising, despite picking up so many yellow cards. Kante to Kovacic. Tackle by Gineppo. And they can break here with Danny Ings. Into Ward-Prowse on the right-hand side. Edge of the box. Plays it through into the box to Redmond. Zuma uses the strength to see it out for a goal kick. Asking too much there of Nathan Redmond. Kovacic complaining when he was challenged there. The referee saw nothing wrong with it. As Southampton looked to break and they didn't use it very well. Ward-Prowse with a pass in towards Redmond. Too much on it and Southampton have lost the ball and Chelsea now have it with Azpilicueta. To Reece James at right wing back into Mason Mount. Poke towards Kante. Looks for a diagonal ball towards Alonso on the left. Can't bring it down. Ball for Southampton. Thrown it'll be. An hour played. We've got half an hour left. Still 1-1. N'Golo Kante giving the ball away. Interestingly enough, N'Golo Kante played every minute of the World Cup up to the World Cup final, where he was put off after 55 minutes in the final against Croatia, where he did play. I think against Kovacic, I think he played that day. But if he didn't play against Kovacic, he played against his country of Croatia, where they were victorious by 4-2. Zuma has it to Alonso, who helps it forward as they win it back from the Southampton throw-in, but he got it up to Hudson-Odoi and he's been dispossessed, and it's Salisu now on the ball. Out to Bertrand, lets it run across his body and then can't quite kick the ball before it went out for a throw-in for Chelsea, and they have it now with Azpilicueta. Throwing into Kovacic. Azpilicueta, poor ball right into Redmond, and they have the ball back, Southampton. Minamino into Redmond, cut out by Azpilicueta, throwing it will be for Southampton. Bertrand, it will be to take very scrappy this game. Some of the passes have been not the greatest, to say the least. Bertrand throws it into Danny Ings, tackled by Zuma. They poke it forward, but it's Vestergaard who gets there. As far as Kovacic, who brings it down, and he plays a ball into space into Marcus Alonso. He's got Mount in support on the left-hand side, and he will just play it into him, into a space himself. Works onto his right foot and then plays it back into Alonso. Left-footed cross into the box. Vestergaard heads away. Back towards the left-hand side where Mount helps it back on with a header. And again headed away by Ward-Prowse and then headed forward by Kovacic. Won by Kante as he keeps the ball for Chelsea with Antonio Rudiger now on the ball. To Azpilicueta. Into Kante. First time ball looking for Hudson-Odoi. Picked up by Ryan Bertrand. Romeo. Ings. To Minamino outside of the boot ball. Just playing it forward into the channel. Looking for Redmond, but it is Zuma to get there first. And it will help Southampton push up the pitch once again. Rudiger out to Southampton's left, right-hand side to Chelsea's left with Alonso. To Mount. It's Chelsea's 1,100th game. No, sorry, 1,101 games they've played in the Premier League. And they will not be wanting to pick up their 270th draw. They have lost the ball, but then they've won it back, and then they've lost it again with Kante in the midfield. Southampton had to have it with Salisu. Minamino into Romeu. Tries to work it away from James with a pass to Ward-Prowse, and he pulls it off, and he returns it to the Spaniard, Ward-Prowse. And it's Romeu into Redmond, who can turn into some space and try and find Ings, intercepted by a Chelsea player, and it falls to Minamino, who's been slide tackled, and he loses the ball, but then they win it back because Chelsea can't keep the ball. It's like the story of the game here. I'm getting sick of saying it. Misplaced pass. They lose the ball, they win the ball, it's just doing me head in. It's like a broken record. So McCarthy sends it forward to Ings. Can't hold it up against Azpilicueta, but it does fall to Ward-Prowse, who just smashes it up the pitch, and it curls all the way over to Edouard Mendy in the Chelsea goal. Antonio Rudiger will just give himself a little bit of time on the ball. Hudson-Odoi loses the ball. I'm actually going to start... I might ban myself saying he's lost the ball. The amount of times I've said it's ridiculous. Two Premier League teams, they can't keep the ball. Rudiger has it for Chelsea, number 2. To Kurt Zuma. Ball played to the right-hand side. Massive shock. He's tried to go for a switch towards Reece James. It's gone out of play. So Chelsea have lost the ball. But then they've won it back with Kurt Zuma as Southampton couldn't quite get it to Danny Ings. It's Edouard Mendy who's just able to get it to Kante on the edge of the boxes. He was pressed by Danny Ings. Reece James inside to Kante. Oh wow, misplaced touch, and he allows Redmond to try and win it back, but Kovacic helps his midfield partner out, and they have the ball back with Azpilicueta down the right hand side. Reece James looks to go inside, and he is able to do so with N'Golo Kante. Left-footed ball down the right-hand side to Timo Werner, who will just get on the end of it. Just about to be able to keep it in. And he has to play a left-footed ball back to Azpilicueta. Kovacic to Rudiger. First time left-footed pass. Well, first time ball to the left-hand side to Alonso. Inside to Hudson-Odoi. He's found himself on the left-hand side. And when he gets the ball from Rudiger. One-on-one with Gineppo. Works onto his right foot. Works across right off Romeo's chest. And Rudiger can pick it up again with Mount. Hudson-Odoi. Mount again. Goes inside to Alonso. Tries to complete a 1-2 with Mount. Pass is too heavy and Gineppo can be bundled to the ground by Mason Mount. And a free kick it will be for Southampton right towards the corner flag. Can I find a passing accuracy in this game? Out of chance. Yeah, passing accuracy of Southampton, 67%. And the passing accuracy for Chelsea is 87%. So that's not too bad. 20% more than Southampton. But when you commentate on the game and you watch it and you've got a comment on every single thing that happens, you do see more often that like how often teams lose possession due to just poor sloppy passes. It's ridiculous. And McCarthy sends it forward, headed back to where it came from by Kurt Zouma. And then Vestergaard heads it in the air and flicked on by Bednarek, only as far as Alonso, with Chelsea back in possession with Kovacic. Rudiger over to Kurt Zouma. It's now Azpilicueta on the ball. Came through the Osasuna Academy in Spain for moving on towards Marseille in France and then to Chelsea in England. As he's passed down the line by Azpilicueta, has been blocked by Danny Ings, who's not happy with the decision, using words that I cannot relay to you guys. You're going to have to use your imagination of what he said. Wasn't happy with the decision anyway from Anthony Taylor, but Chelsea will have the ball now with Zouma. Can Chelsea pick up their 25th Premier League victory against Southampton? It'll be their 14th away, only 11 at home. Because the last time they played here, like I said, they won 4-1 Chelsea, but their last two Premier League home games against Southampton, they failed to win. 3-3 in the game this season, and then they lost 2-0 last season at home. On Boxing Day, Obafemi and Redmond scored in that game. That was to mark the 19th game of the season, so that was right at the halfway point. As Southampton have it with Bednarek, forces it down the right-hand side, can't quite find Gineppo. And it's Antonio Rudiger to now have the ball for Chelsea. Kovacic comes off Minamino and it falls to Redmond. Poor ball from Kovacic. And Redmond, what can he do with it? Works it away from the Croatian and tries to get inside past Azpilicueta. Good defending by the Spaniard. And it'll be a throw-in for Southampton on the left-hand side. So Minamino will just drop the ball for Ryan Bertrand to take. Thrown into Minamino, back to Bertrand. Inside to Redmond, laid it back off to Bertrand. Good tackle by Azpilicueta, but it fell straight to Redmond again. Minamino to Romeu. Brings away from Werner. Lays into Redmond. Minamino. Redmond. Minamino again. Back towards Salisu. Vestergaard. Now worked its way to Minamino. Through the gap again of Reece James and Azpilicueta to the byline to Bertrand, who's able to dink it in. Headed away by Kurt Zouma, and he can only do his best to avoid a chance because he has to concede a corner in the process. Salisu got it into Minamino there. He was allowed to turn and feed it through that gap of James and Azpilicueta for Bertrand, and he did get the cross in past Azpilicueta, who was sliding in to try and block it, but it was Zouma who was the one to block it instead. And with just over 20 minutes to go, we're still at 1-1. Can they make this count? Got Bednarek in the box. They've got Vestergaard, who's 6'6", and he scored 3 goals this season. There's Ward-Prowse. Will take an in-swinger. It's a great... I've completely lied to you all. It's an awful ball. Straight into the hands of Edouard Mendy, but there was no one there for Southampton to even attack the ball as he's thrown it to Mason Mount. Heavy touch. Tackle by Gineppo, and it came off Mount last as he slid in there, Gineppo. Well won by the right wing back for today. Been in the wars as well. Gineppo suffered quite a few injuries in the start of the game in the first half, but he's shook them all off and he's been able to play at least 70 minutes. Bednarek throws it down the line towards him. Stopped by Alonso. Kovacic tried to play it back to Rudiger. Not enough accuracy on it and too much power, and it's another corner for Chelsea, for Southampton, and for Chelsea to have to defend. So one thing you don't want to be giving Southampton corners when you've got a set piece specialist like Ward-Prowse and, like I said, Vestergaard in the team who's 6'6". You can't be giving them away. It's on the opposite side. It's on the Southampton right hand side. It'll be an out swinger. But that's poor from Kovacic. Like I said, it's been the story of the game. Misplaced passes. There's been so many of them today. So it is the number 8, Ward-Prowse. He's been in the academy since 2003. Just been a bit of a delay on the corner at the minute as Anthony Taylor wants a word with a few of the players in the box. As we look to take it now, it's a left arm in the air by Ward-Prowse, and he swings the ball into the box. It's dangerous. It's been flicked onto the back post where Redmond has to go and collect towards the opposite corner flag. And he's one-on-one with Azpilicueta. Can he work another cross? He can do so. He glides it in. Falls towards Vestergaard, who heads it onto the crossbar. Ings with a follow-up, and he volleys it wide. What a chance from Yannick Vestergaard. Headed it. Left Mendy flat-footed. still an icicle. No movement from the goalkeeper as he just to watch the ball loop onto the crossbar. And then Danny Ings with a left-footed shot as it crashed onto the crossbar, went wide of the post, and it's so unlucky. Hello, I don't know if we're back. The internet literally just dropped off. It actually wasn't OBS for once, my streaming service. It was the internet, so I do apologise. We're back though, with Hudson-Odoi on the edge of the box from a corner. Nothing happened, no goals. Hudson nearly got him behind actually before to win the corner. He tried to pull it back, but ended up going off, I think, Salisu. But we have a throw in with Southampton here as Mount just lost the ball on the right-hand side. So yeah, do apologise about that. Internet did go off. It wasn't OBS for once, which is usually the downfall on my streams. It was is my internet cut out completely. But it's okay, we're back. That's all that matters, we're back. Thank you to everyone who's come back. Who's still here, who stayed as well. I did put a comment, I used to turn my data on, put a comment on saying the internet's gone off, hopefully back soon, and we are back. We're looking for a double change though here for Chelsea. It looks like Jorginho and Ziyech coming on as Danny Ings hooks away from the throw-in towards Gineppo, can't quite find Nathan Redmond, and Chelsea have it back in the Southampton half with Reece James getting past Minamino, trying to find Hudson-Odoi. He does so nicely, brings it down beautifully, Hudson-Odoi, and lays it back in towards the right back. Reece James takes it in his path. What a goal this will be! Into Werner, back heels it towards Alonso, and it's cleared away by Gineppo. That would have been a seriously good goal, and that scuffed clearance has actually gone straight to Nathan Redmond. Holds it up and plays it over the top towards Minamino. Too much on it, out of play for a throw-in for Chelsea. That would have been a real good goal for Chelsea. Unbelievable play by Reece James and Hudson-Odoi. More so Reece James to get beyond the sliding challenge that he had to avoid there. He just jumped over it and took the ball with him. But here is the double change. Hudson-Odoi, who was substituted on, is being brought off. It looks like he's just hobbling off, so I'm presuming he's just picked up a little injury. And then Kovacic, who hasn't been too great in terms of his passing today, he's been replaced by number 5, Jorginho. But yeah, Hudson-Odoi was brought on for Abraham at half-time, but he's been brought off again. He did look like he was just hobbling off ever so gingerly, so I don't think it'll be a real problem. I'm hoping for his sake, because he's been a real favourite under Tuchel, Hudson-Odoi. I'm hoping it is just an injury and he hasn't been brought on and then brought off in the same game, because you don't want that on any player. And we've also had in the midst of that a Southampton change. Nathan Teller has been brought on for Minamino as Chelsea find Werner on the left-hand side, right on the corner flag. He's been able to keep it in and try and find Mount in the box, and he has done so, and his pullback's been stopped by Romeu, and it falls to Vestergaard, who can clear down the line. And yeah, Nathan Teller is a winger, and at Chelsea still have it, by the way. They've got it from the Vestergaard clearance. Yeah, Nathan Teller is a winger, signed from Arsenal's academy in 2017. He's yet to start a Premier League game so far, and he's yet to score as well. And this is his first minutes in the Premier League in his last 6 games. So nice to see him get back on the pitch as Mason Mount has it. Works the cross towards the back post. It came off Ziyech last. No. It came off Bertrand last. Mount got it on the left-hand side. Worked it onto his right foot. And swung in a cross. Crosses it in. Actually deflects off Vestergaard. And then it came off Bertrand last as well, actually. Yeah, deflects off Vestergaard. Off Bertrand last. Off his thigh. And away for a corner. I've got a fact about Vestergaard. I don't know if you heard it. My internet went off, so you might not have heard it. But I'll tell you. I'll tell you in a sec after this attack's done. I've been waiting for to use it for ages, and the internet cut off. But Mason Mount crosses it, outswinger towards Rudiger at the back post. Comes off Aspilicueta, saved by McCarthy actually, and then he's offside. I thought he was offside, quite clear, but the referee had to keep his flag down. Well, the assistant had to keep his flag down. Cross into the back post. Rudiger won his header, nodded it down straight to Aspilicueta, who was honestly about 5 yards offside. So I think everyone knew that was offside. Anyway, but Yannick Vestergaard, he did hit the bar. I'm hoping you heard that bit, him hitting the bar. Can you actually let me know? Because someone put in the chat, was I here for when Southampton hit the crossbar? Can someone actually let me know if I was here before my internet cut out for when Southampton hit the crossbar? Because if not, then I'll have to tell you what happened with that one. Danny Ings can't flick it onto Nathan Teller from the offside free kick, and Chelsea have it again with Kurt Zouma. But yeah, can someone just let me know, like, you could, did you hear when Vestergaard hit the bar from the corner? I need to know that. Zouma has it back to Aspilicueta. Kante got the ball and he's been dispossessed by Romeu, and Nathan Tella tries to take on Azpilicueta. His touch was too heavy. It's gone straight to Edouard Mendy in the Chelsea goal. Yeah, can someone tell me if I can? I know the chat hasn't really been going off, but like, I'm seriously asking. Can someone tell me if you were here, did I disconnect whilst Southampton hit the bar? Because it was Vestergaard who hit the bar. Was I here or was I not? I need to know, please. As Salisu clears away a Chelsea forward ball. It's gone straight back to Chelsea again as Nathan Tella can keep possession. It's now Azpilicueta over to Kurt Zouma. Rudiger on the left-hand side. Zouma, diagonal ball up towards Reece James, who goes to try and win the header, but it comes off Bertrand and it falls to Romeu. It's now Vestergaard, dinks it down the right-hand side towards Gineppo, who keeps the ball and gets it toward Prowse. It's now Bednarek. To Gineppo, nice little turn and pulled back by Alonso to win the free kick. Nicely done, and a yellow card for Alonso. I was out of room, mate. So, right, anyway, so if you weren't here and I had disconnected, I'm not sure. Vestergaard hit the bar from a Southampton corner, and then from the bar, Danny Ings had the chance to score, and then his left-footed chance went wide. But anyway, on Vestergaard, and I know this was definitely not part of it. I know I cut out for this. And then Vestergaard's grandfather, Hannes Chvores, I think that's how you say it, was actually at West Ham's under-21s in 1958. Which I found quite interesting. Yannick Vestergaard's grandfather playing for West Ham's under-21s all the way back in 1958. As Kante has it, and it's into Ziyech, heavy touch tackle by Bertrand. It goes in towards Kante, you can try and take over, and here he is, Vestergaard with Gineppo trying to keep the ball for Southampton. Oh, what a run from Gineppo. Takes out 4 Chelsea players with dribbling, and taken out by Jorginho just inside the Southampton half. Great run by Gineppo there. He was in a real tight spot. Couldn't be tackled by Ziyech, Mount, Alonso or Kante. What a run. Step overs past Jorginho and he had to be taken down to be stopped there by the Italian. What a run by Gineppo. He's been everywhere, Gineppo, today. He's been in the wars completely, and he's down again now, holding his arm. Might be in the way he landed. He may have bruised his arm a little bit. He's been down so many times. He's been trodden on his ankle. He's been caught on the top of his leg, and now his arm. And he's not staying down for the sake of it. He's seriously been injured every time by real heavy challenges. So fair play to him for seeing this one all the way through so far, because he's been battered all over the place. Like I said before, another Chelsea commentary coming on Tuesday. Atletico Madrid versus Chelsea, Tuesday, 8 o'clock UK time. Gineppo has stayed down here and he is getting medical treatment. I think it's more the way he landed on his arm. So he's had his leg injured, his ankle injured, and now his right arm. I think it's the way he landed as he was brought down by Jorginho, because it was quite the fall he sustained there as he was trying to bring the ball away. Like he did, he took it away from 4 Chelsea players, and then he couldn't quite get past Jorginho. Well, he could. He was on his way past him, took the ball around him, and then he was just through to the ground. But he's back on his feet, and he is holding his right arm. I don't know if he'll be able to continue. The fact he's survived 82.5 minutes of the game is quite triumphant on its own. He's been brought off by 2 medical staff. Will he be back on the pitch? I don't know. I think he'll be okay. He's ready to come back on. What an absolute warrior Gineppo is. Vestergaard will take the free kick he won. It's just inside the Southampton half. He'll dink it to the left-hand side. Looking for Danny Ings. He can't win the header. It falls to Reece James, who headed on to Ziyech, who then headed on once more into the space where Romeu hooks it behind him. Forward as well towards Danny Ings, and then Kante is the one who gets it from the ball just fall into his path, and then Vestergaard will head it back forward, and then forced to Azpilicueta, who will clear it back towards the Chelsea attack where it comes off Gineppo's head. As far as Alonso, who brings it down nicely and then brought down by Gineppo. Free kick it will be for Chelsea. Taken quickly by Jorginho into Kante, lays it off into Kurt Zouma. Antonio Rudiger. So Alonso down the left hand side in the Chelsea half. We're in the Chelsea half now with Kurt Zouma. Back towards Antonio Rudiger. Into the space to Mason Mount. On the left-hand side, he's one-on-one with Gineppo at the minute. Takes it past him beautifully. He's going to go down the outside of Bednarek. Left-footed cross in towards the back post. Where it falls to Reece James. Oh, he's blazed it over the bar. What a chance. What a run from Mount. Tuchel really frustrated. He slams the chair next to him in frustration. Mount picked the ball up from Rudiger. Sat down Gineppo, who fell on his backside. And then went down the route outside of Bednarek. Worked the cross down the byline. Dinked it past Vestergaard, Salisu, Bertrand. It fell all the way to the back poster. Reece James, who had the chance to strike it on the right foot, bounced right in front of him, and on the side foot, he blazed it over the crossbar. And another chance goes begging for Chelsea, as we've just got about 5 minutes plus added on time to go, and it's still 1-1. Change for Southampton. Che Adams has replaced, I'm hoping it's Gineppo to give him just a bit of a break. It's Danny Ings. At least he's injured. I don't understand that one at all. You need a goal when you bring off your best striker. Strange decision. And Nathan Tella sends it down the line for Southampton, headed forward by Aspilicueta. Jorginho can keep it under his possession, but again, Southampton, shock, can't keep the ball themselves. And it goes all the way back to Edouard Mendy. Aspilicueta down the line as Salisu heads it forward into Ward-Prowse, who can bring it down. Play back towards Salisu. Now Bertrand, heavy touch, falls to Kante, dinks it down the line to Ziyech, who dummies it for Reece James. Can he get there? Now Salisu's on his feet. He's able to get it back to his goalkeeper ahead of Reece James, and then he sends it back forward. Can he get it to Che Adams? No, he can't. A header won by Kurt Zouma, only as far as Nathan Redmond, who can't work it to Musa Gineppo. It's now Alonso on the ball. Played back to Kurt Zouma. Aspilicueta to Kurt Zouma. I'm absolutely flabbergasted the fact they've brought Danny Ings off. Unless he's tired or he's injured, which I hope he's not injured because he's my fantasy league captain, then I don't understand why they've brought him off, to be honest. I thought they would have brought off Redmond, who isn't actually a natural striker who's playing up there. But nevertheless, Reece James has it on the right-hand side, gets it into Werner, completes a 1-2, it's Reece James again. Mount to Jorginho, who's around 30 yards away from goal, works it to the left to Mount again, uses Alonso, who's tackled by Gineppo, out for a Chelsea throw-in in the end. Can they hold out for a draw, Southampton, and stop this rut of 6 straight league losses, worst in the club's history? Zouma. Aspilicueta into Ziyech, who has to work it away from Romeu, but he can't quite do so. He's been dispossessed, but then he tries to win it back on Nathan Tella, who took over from Romeu, but he's clipped him to the ground there in the end, and a free kick will be given to Southampton. Ziyech there coming on as a substitute, couldn't quite work his magic the way you would have wanted to there. He got his first ever Premier League minutes for Chelsea in the 3-3 draw earlier on in the season against Southampton, and that was all the way back in October. So he had to wait about a month for his first few minutes because he did pick up a few injuries. He's got the 1 goal as well this season, and that was against Burnley away. But Chelsea have got it back here with Rudiger as, again, Southampton, big shock, have lost it from their free kick. And it's Alonso, dinked ball over the top. He's looking for Werner or Ziyech. Can't find either of them. It falls to Mount as Southampton look to clear, and as Mount looks to play it into Werner, it comes off Vestergaard last, and a corner kick it will be for Chelsea. Can we get some late drama here at St Mary's with Ziyech being passed the ball by Mount to take the corner? It'll be an outswinging ball from the Moroccan. Can he find maybe Aspilicueta in the box? Zouma crossed into the near post, headed away by Gineppo. All the way back to Kante, who found Ziyech again. Will he put another ball in? He'll cut inside and then lay it into Mason Mount, who's on the edge of the box. He'll fancy a strike himself, and it's always going over the bar. Poor from Mason Mount, and it's just going to add to the frustration of Thomas Tuchel because his team's had a lot of the ball, quite a few chances, and has not really made any of them count. Blazed over the bar, easy for the goalkeeper to just let fly over his head. It'll be a goal kick from McCarthy. Can they keep it, Southampton, or will they give it straight back to Chelsea? Here's Alex McCarthy to take the goal kick, headed on by Gineppo. Or did it come with his hand? Did come off his hand. So it'll be a free kick for Chelsea, quickly taken by Jorginho. Mason Mount playing it into the space where Alonso will try and run into to get the ball, but it's Bednarek who's there first and just has to clear out for a throw-in for Chelsea. As he ran out of room to do anything else with it, Bednarek, quickly taken by Alonso, thrown back to Mason Mount, to Rudiger. Got 1 minute left, plus added on time. Can Chelsea find a winner? Got to travel to Hungary to play Atletico Madrid on Tuesday. They'll like to go into that game with a win. To Alonso. In the final third is Mason Mount. One-on-one with Bednarek and Gineppo. Takes it past both of them. What skill from Mount. Gets into the box. Cleared away by Vestergaard. Towards Marcos Alonso. Can he keep it in the possession of Chelsea? He can. Rudiger takes over. Takes too heavy of a touch. And out it goes for a throw-in for Southampton. As another Chelsea attack is coming to its conclusion. What skill from Mason Mount to get it right in between Gineppo and Bednarek. Put it through the legs of the Polish international. And got the cross in towards Werner, but it's Vestergaard who was able to get his right boot to it and to clear. So throwing it will be. Man of the match is gone to Salisu, and I'm going to have to agree. My man of the match is also Salisu. He's been fantastic at the back for Southampton, the 21-year-old, his first ever start. His plays had to be stopped as Chelsea were on the ball, but Nathan Tella got a collision with his head, so play was rightly stopped straight away by Anthony Taylor. Ball was bounced in the air. Him and Kante went for it, and just a clash of heads there for the two players. Taylor came out worse. We've got 3 minutes of adding on time. As Nathan Taylor is just getting checked by the medical staff. Kante seems okay. There was a slight collision of heads, but there wasn't really a Chelsea chance going ahead at the time. Maybe one was starting to be created, but no real chance was there where play, was maybe wrongfully stopped. Wonder if it may have felt hard done by. But here's Jorginho who gets the ball from the drop ball, and then what is that? That is awful. Tries to play a ball in behind for Reece James with height on it, straight out for a goal kick. No accuracy. Even Tuchel's the same as me. Tuchel has literally had the exact same reaction of just disbelief of how poor that pass from Jorginho was. Forcing it, looking for Reece James. He made a decent run, to be fair, but if you're going to try and find him, you've got to at least try and make the pass get somewhere near him. Nowhere near. Awful pass, and that just kills more time for Southampton, who are looking like they are going to end this losing streak of 6 league games as McCarthy picks up a yellow card, I think, for time wasting, As he sends it down the right-hand side of Southampton, where Nathan Redmond can't quite hold it up, and it does fall to Jorginho. Plays it into Kante, works it away from Romeu. Inside to Ziyech, can't quite find the run of James, and it falls to Nathan Redmond in the end. He's got Nathan Tella to his left, and he will play it into the space. Can Southampton nick a late winner? Nathan Tella on the left-hand side, pulls it back towards Che Adams, comes off the left foot of Zuma out for a corner, and with a minute to go, I think that is out for Chelsea. I don't think they'll be able to create any more chances in time, and it could cause Southampton to go for this late on. Nathan Tella down the left-hand side, worked the cross, and then on the stretch, Zuma had to just force it out for a corner as it bounced off his left boot. Well worked from Nathan Tella, though, to win the corner. And here we go, Ward-Prowse. We've already had a crossbar hit from a corner by Vestergaard. Can he instead convert this one? Ward-Prowse crosses it in towards Yannick Vestergaard, just over his head, and it'll be Nathan Redmond to collect. He's just in the corner flag here with N'Golo Kante, trying to work his way past him, and he does find a pass to Romeu, back to Redmond, to the centre-back Bednarek. 10 seconds to play. It's now Salisu. Diagonally switched towards Gineppo, but cut out by Kante. Bednarek heads it back forward towards Gineppo, who keeps it on the pitch. And then with the pass intercepted by Kante, it goes off the pitch. And we've played the 3 minutes of additional time. And I think we'll have just about maybe a minute more due to the Nathan Tella injury with his head. We had a bit of a stoppage at the start of stoppage time. But before the throw-in will be taken, we'll have a Southampton change, and it's Dan and Lunderloo. As he's been replaced by Nathan Redmond, as Nathan Redmond says it's a something shambles, because he was told to go off at the closest point, which is the rules, so I don't get what he's complaining about. We have not too long left to play. Bednarek throws it down the line towards Lundaloo. Can he get there ahead of Rudiger, who only was able to head it behind him? He has got there, uses the strength, then brings down Rudiger in the process. Right in that corner flag, the right hand side of Southampton, and Daniel Lundaloo's first involvement is to give away a free kick, taken short to Zuma. Now to the goalkeeper, Edouard Mendy. It's now Aspilicueta, who just sends it long down the right hand side towards Ziyech, who is able to head it on towards Werner, but Vestergaard is there towards Ward Prowse, who heads it on towards Teller, but it's Reece James to get there for Chelsea. Touch is too heavy. Nathan Teller sees it out for a throw in for Southampton. We have played a minute and 15 extra than what was allowed, than what was added on. But we did have a slight stoppage at the start of added on time with Nathan Teller's head injury. And here's Bertrand with a throw in. He's going to go long down the line. And nothing else can be done within the game because the referee has ended it there. Southampton have ended their 6-game losing streak in the league with a point against Chelsea, ending their 4-game winning streak in the league. They're still unbeaten under Thomas Tuchel, as they did go behind actually for the first time under Tuchel's reign, with a Takumi Minamino goal in the first half, and then the exact same with what happened in Sunday's game against Wolves. Around 10 minutes into the second half, they conceded a penalty and was pulled back to 1-1. But this time, instead of going on to lose the game, they were able to hold on for the point. Finishes Southampton 1, Chelsea 1 at St Mary's. Point apiece. Be very much needed for Ralph Hasenhüttl, as his team is eventually, after 6 games without being moved up any points, they finally got to 30 points in the league. And I think it'll be a good day all round for Ralph Hasenhüttl, who could now start to see the light at the end of this tunnel for Southampton. But that is it. Tuchel still unbeaten as a Chelsea boss, and he's got to go to play Atletico Madrid now on Tuesday. Will he be able to be victorious, as they are just able to hold on to 4th place? But if Liverpool and West Ham win their games this weekend, then they will drop all the way to 6th. But that is obviously based off other results as well. Great commentary and research. Cheers, thanks. So it's all right, but that is it for today's commentary. I hope you've enjoyed. Like and subscribe. Make sure you check the Instagram out, as we look like we might be bringing mystery boxes and mystery football card packs out. Commentary Tuesday, video coming out Monday, hopefully another mystery box. Make sure you look out for that. But other than that, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you are new. But Tuchel's men couldn't quite take all 3 points away from the St Mary's today. They were held to a 1-1 draw by a resolute Southampton side. A great first start for Mohamed Salisu, who won man of the match for Southampton. He's definitely one for the future, as he put on a man of the match performance. And at the age of 21, he could be the next rising star at Southampton. They've had many took by Liverpool. Hopefully this guy will be able to stay for them. But other than that, it's ended 1-1. And yeah, hopefully see you for the next commentary very soon on Tuesday, where we will be seeing Atletico Madrid take on runaway La Liga leaders in Atletico Madrid.